Hi.
Eric, how nice. Let me get you a cup of tea. I've just made a pot. Unless you'd rather have coffee.
No, tea would be fine.
I'm sorry about Michael coming round like that. I seem to spend half my life apologising for him at the moment, don't I?
There's no need to. Not on my account. It's why I came round, though. Just to see everything was still all right.
Of course. Oh, it was a lovely evening. And I really enjoyed myself.
Well, we'll have to do it again. Tonight? Don't suppose Michael will call round twice running?
No, I don't suppose so.
I'm beginning to think it impossible to have a night out without Michael interrupting.
Oh, never mind, Eric. At least you can enjoy your tea without interruption.
Oh, sorry, Mrs. Feldman. Not interrupting out, am I?
Hi. I half expected you to be out with the customers. Clients, please. Customers makes it sound like a shop. No, the next booking is later on this afternoon. 12 little horrors of no doubt varying ability. So you're free till then? More or less. Nothing I have to do except buy in dinner for tonight. You ever remembered you coming round? Yeah. Will Archie be able to sit with Peter?
I don't know. I did ask him, but he's about as much use as a chocolate fireguard these days, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, do you fancy a trip into Houghton?
Yeah, I was going to go in anyway. See if I could catch Eric Pollard.
What do you want with him?
I haven't told you about my gas fire, have I?
What about it?
Well, it's really weird. I mean, some mornings we come downstairs and it's on.
Well, he forgot to switch it off the night before.
That's what Chris says, but I've checked and it's definitely off.
Maybe there's a faulty valve or something.
And then that picture falling off, and one of the lights at the side just stopped working.
Coincidence?
That's what Chris says as well, but worst of all is this awful, putrid smell that comes and goes.
Kathy, are you trying to tell me you've got a haunted gas fire? Because if you
No,
are...
of course I'm not.
What then?
Well, the fire surround, it's very old and... Well, I thought it might be interesting to know where it came from.
And that's where Eric Pollard fits in.
I thought he might be able to shed some light. Do you mind?
Try and stop me. I'm as intrigued as you are now.
Hi, is Melanie there, please? It's Mark. All right. Well, can you tell her that I called?
How is it, Seth? You always run out of something half an hour before lunch.
Sheer coincidence, Mrs. Feldman.
Wouldn't have anything to do with being handy for the wool pack when you reordered?
Don't never enter me head.
I'll be with you in just a minute. Just as soon as I find that order number.
Take your time, love. It's a nice mug of tea, is this?
Oh, do make yourself comfortable.
I was up at 5:45 this morning feeding my game birds. My dad say if a man can't sleep, he might as well be working.
You're not sleeping, Seth?
Not since I Meg bought one of them duvets. Hey, how much does one of them cost?
A duvet? Well, a decent one can be as much as £150. Depends what tog it is.
Eh? Tog?
It's the weight of the duvet. It shows how warm they are.
Only togs I know to barter them I have to wear in bed because it's too drafty.
You'll get used to it, Seth.
I used to like our house as it were. You know, I don't recognise it now when I go in. She'll be wanting to call it telly next.
What your Meg ever did to deserve you, I'll never know. Have you got those record sheets?
Oh, they're here somewhere.
Oh, I am glad to see you keeping your records properly, Seth. Oh, this is yours.
Oh, that postman gave me that when I was coming away this morning. I forgot about it. I think it might be my dinner hour. I better be off.
If I need you, I know where to find you. I suppose that's a small mercy.
Put the kettle on, love. Michael and I spitting feathers.
Looks like you got some good fleeces coming off.
Yeah, not bad. Don't even make much on them, though.
Do you mind if we have tea later this evening? Kathy wants to give Robert his riding lessons straight from school instead of after tea.
Well, I'm not sure we should be letting him go at all.
Why not?
Well, don't you feel just the smallest bit patronised? Frank Tate graciously allows our Robert back into his stables.
You're being ridiculous.
Ridiculous? Robert ended up thinking he'd killed that pony and all because of Frank Tate.
Don't you think it would be better for Robert if he could just forget it happened?
Well, of course I do.
So give us a break and stop going on about it.
I have been a bit of a pain, haven't I?
Been a big pain.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Joe said the same.
So, for once in your life, listen to your brother. And me.
So shut up, Jack.
Bottom line, Jack. Yes.
You don't really believe your fireplace is possessed, do you?
No, of course not. But I can't help being curious.
Well, when you find out it used to be owned by a monk with sweaty feet, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters!
You sure you can make tonight? Now you've lost Archie's services, it must make things more difficult.
You couldn't ask Alex to sit, could you? I'm sure Peter would find his Cary Grant approach more amusing than I do.
No, seriously, how are you managing?
Well, you're right, of course. I don't see much of Archie these days, though he always manages to be there at meal times.
Well, Nick says he's taking his job very seriously.
Oh, yeah. He's doing that all right.
You on your own? No, Jack's just gone to make a brew. I don't know what's keeping him, though. I'm parched. Well, I'll make you one if you like. Nah, you're all right. How's it going? Still thinking about getting ill for your exams? No. I just mentioned I knew someone who was, that's all. Oh, where's Melanie? I thought she was going to help you revising. Different subjects. So? You help her, she helps you. Oh, you've had a row, that's it. Well, so what if we have? We wouldn't have seen much of each other anyway, with all this studying. Oh, what studying? Well, I'm trying. Just not going in. Might as well stay here, mate, and do something useful. Yeah, all right. I'll just go and get changed.
Oh, yes, of course I remember it. Not often you get a fire so of that quality. Quite exceptional.
I was wondering if you had any idea where it came from. Was it from a particular house?
Well, you got me there, I'm afraid. But I can assure you it is the real McCoy.
Well, is there anything you can tell us about it? You know how attached you can become to these things. They sometimes have a story to tell.
Well, I've an idea where it might have come from.
Where?
The vicarage next to the slaughterhouse cottages in Houghton. It came in about the same time as they were demolishing.
Slaughterhouse cottages?
Yeah. They used to house the original workers for the old abattoir.
What old abattoir?
Built in the 19th century. Pulled down just before the war. Health hazard, apparently. They do say with the following wind you could smell it as far away as Leeds. Anyway, so it couldn't be more specific. Nice piece, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Chris said it was very reasonable.
So it was. Chris said he wanted the best, and for £400, he got a good buy. A very good buy.
How much?
£400. Oh, dear. I said something I shouldn't.
What are you doing here, Mark?
Just lending a hand.
Well, you know what you should be doing, don't you?
Oh, come on, Jack. It does me good to have a break. Prevents the brain going into overload.
Well, it's your future, lad.
Yeah, it is.
Suit yourself. But if Joe finds out you've been shearing instead of studying, you're in trouble. But get yourself a shower and all. Don't want you picking anything up from these sheep, or you could find yourself on your back for exam day.
I know what you're thinking. Abattoir, putrid smell, dodgy, eh?
Yeah.
You could always write a film about it. Sorry. It's really got to, hasn't it?
Lynn, I had no idea Chris paid so much for it.
Didn't he tell you?
Not just that, he deliberately misled me.
I don't know how much fireplaces cost. Maybe he thought it really didn't cost that much. No, you're right.
I thought Chris had got over his extravagance. I thought we'd reached the stage where we talked about things at least. £400!
And you think it was probably knocked together 100 years ago for about 25 pence.
Yes, well, he's got some explaining to do.
Do you want to forget about dinner tonight? We could always make it another time.
No, don't be silly.
Do you want me to bring a Ouija board?
A bottle of brown, please, when you're done.
Bill, I'll be with you in a minute. I have but one pair of hands.
Alan, I need you to sign these.
Elizabeth, thank heavens. I am at my wit's end. Why will this agency never send us anybody who knows how to work a till?
Well, what do you expect me to do about it?
Would you explain to this person how to ring through a sale before I start doing some ringing of my own?
A bottle of brown, please.
Yeah, Bill, can't you see I'm busy? And Carol can't get back a moment too soon. Oh, and Elizabeth, would you mind going through yesterday's takings? I just can't get them to balance. Oh, and Elizabeth, serve Bill, will you?
Are you keeping Seth busy then, Mrs. Feldman?
Not particularly.
Just wondering where he was. It's well past his dinner.
Oh, yes, it is, isn't it? I thought he was on his way over when he left me.
Yeah, he's never been in.
Funny. I wonder what he's up to.
How are you feeling? I'm fine. It's just my luck. I thought I might catch something horrible off the sheep. Well, give it time. Something might incubate overnight. Oh, yeah? Like what? Dunno. Pneumonia, sheep diphtheria, rheumatoid arthritis. You're not funny. Listen, if you're really worried about it, why don't I give you an hand? Well, how could you help? Well, I could test you on something, couldn't I? You don't know anything about it. You're always going on about having to learn facts. Just pick a subject and tell me the facts. Yeah, I suppose it might help. All right, come on, then. All right, then. We'll start off with the distribution of religious, cultural and linguistic groups in Africa. Fine. Fire away. Second thoughts. Shall I have a cup of tea first? Oh, yeah? What's up now?
This is what's up now.
Not again. Look, Kathy, the thing's obviously more trouble than it's worth.
I doubt that very much, Chris.
What do you mean?
When you bought this...
When I bought that, I had no idea what trouble I was letting myself in for, did I? For the past week, I've heard nothing else but what's wrong with it.
You haven't heard anything yet.
Well, if it's that much trouble, let's just get rid of it. Sell it.
I don't think we'll get anyone to pay us £400.
What?
I went to see Eric Pollard today.
Why, for heaven's
Why
sake?
did you lie to me, Chris?
Look, it wasn't a question of lying to you. There was no need for you to know how much it cost.
Eric assumed I knew. You assumed I shouldn't. Now, why?
Look, you wanted a new fire, I bought you one. Who cares how much it costs?
I do.
Yeah, and what you think matters. I can't do anything without asking you first.
That's not true, Chris. All I ever wanted from you was honesty. Or is that too much to ask?
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of being cross-examined. I'm going out before I say or do something I may regret.
Oh, hi, Kath. Bit of a celebration. I'll put it in the fridge. Yep, I think I've found the perfect site for one of our biggest clients.
Good.
Not such a good day for you, though, huh?
No, not really.
Where's his lordship?
I have no idea.
Do I interpret that as I have no idea and I don't particularly care?
We've had a row.
Oh, don't tell me. The fireplace. I've been thinking, you know, and I can probably account for at least one of the times that it was left on.
Probably.
Well, more than probably.
So what about the other times?
Possibly. You see, I've only just got the hang of this switch. And in the mornings when it was left on low, well...
You probably hadn't turned it out fully.
Possibly.
So all this time we've been wondering and speculating, and it was all down to you and a switch you hadn't got the hang of.
Sorry.
You didn't by any chance knock the picture off the wall too?
Not guilty. Chris's DIY, I'd hazard a guess.
And the light?
Oh, let's see, shall we? Let there be light.
That leaves The smell.
Oh, what, the one that only you can detect?
The estimated population of 16,290,000. 2/3 depend upon agriculture.
Yeah?
Well, yeah, what?
Oh, go on.
Oh, who cares? I can't remember any of it.
Come on, Mark, you might as well try.
I've been trying all day. I'm fed up.
You know what your problem is, don't you?
Yeah, I'm thick.
Nah, it's Melanie.
Well, who cares about Melanie? I don't.
Yeah, and the rest. No chance of patching things up with her?
Just didn't want to know. Doesn't think I'm trying hard enough.
Well, you must admit, you've been skiving a bit.
No, I haven't. You can't revise every minute of the day, you know.
Look, don't worry about it, mate. You'll be all right on the day.
Yeah, I hope so.
He didn't say when he'd be back.
Wasn't that sort of row?
I was looking forward to a cosy meal by the fireside. This fireside particularly, waiting for the ghosts.
There aren't any ghosts, only Alex.
I might have known.
Not all of them, and the smell was definitely Kathy.
Oh, he gets more charming every day.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kathy. I didn't mean it quite like that.
Look, you two, I'm sorry about this. I've got nothing prepared and, well, to be honest, I don't feel up to cooking.
Oh, let's go down the Woolpack then.
No, you two go. No, that's all right, Lynn. You don't mind, do you?
Of course I mind. It means I'll be stuck with him all evening.
And she's heard all my small talk before.
Both sentences. You've got to come. We're not going to leave without you, are we, Alex?
No fear. Come on, Kathy. We're going out to dinner. It's better than waiting around for Chris to come home.
Well, I could leave him a note, I suppose.
He was the one who stormed off, so he can jolly well wonder where you've got to when he gets back.
Seth, man, where were you dinner time? Do you want a pint?
I need more than a pint. Mr. Turner?
In a minute, Seth.
Mr. Turner, I want a word.
Seth.
What's up, man?
It's him. He's really done it this time.
Seth, I'm busy. Now, what do you want about?
I want a sub on my wages.
What?
Seeing as it were all your fault in the first place.
What?
If you'd have paid me in real money, I wouldn't be in this mess.
Seth, what are you talking about? You're not making any sense.
I've never been in debt in my life, I haven't, to nobody. And I want it paying off, so you have to give me a sub.
You debt? What debt?
On that credit card I had to get.
Seth, if you have overspent on your credit card, that's entirely down... Now, hang on a minute. You said you never used your credit card. You said you lost it.
I'm on about that new one they sent me.
Will someone tell me what he's talking about?
Hang on, Seth. I thought you got rid of that new card.
That's just the point. So did I.
What's this?
What does it look like?
Well, I can see it's a map, but what are these?
Joe's coloured walks for his hikers.
Well, they don't look too bad. In fact, they hardly touch Emmerdale land. So much for all the fuss you've been making about them.
What you see there are refinements I've made to the originals.
Does Frank Tate know about this?
No, he doesn't need to. Joe and I are sorting it out between us.
And has Joe seen these alterations?
Well, not yet, no.
Let's have a closer look. Jack, Joe's never going to agree to this.
I don't see why not.
Well, just look at it. You might have avoided Emmerdale land, but only by turning all the walks into positive marathons.
What?
None of the holidaymakers are going to want to do that.
They look all right to me.
Well, I'm telling you, don't expect a thumbs up from Joe.
Look, if they don't want to walk, they can sit in their deck chairs outside their cabins and pretend they're in the countryside. At least they won't leave any gates open Robert can be blamed for.
Oh, can't you just forget what happened with Robert?
No, I can't is the short answer to that, Sarah. And as far as these walks are concerned, they can either like them or lump them.
Thought the Garden Festival was in Cardiff this year.
Where are we supposed to sit?
Chris, what's all this?
I wanted to say I'm sorry.
And you thought this would be the best way to do it?
I thought it might help to make up for one or two things, yeah.
There is no need for all this. Where did you find flowers so late, anyway?
I caught the shop just before it closed.
Oh, and brought them out, I suppose. So how did you get them here?
Well, I didn't carry them all myself, did I?
So they delivered. Great. More expense.
Kathy, I'm trying to say I'm sorry.
And say it with your heart, not with your wallet, and without turning the place into a funeral parlour.
Well, thanks, Kathy, for those few kind words. It's nice to know I'm so appreciated.
How can I get through to you? Yes, The flowers are lovely, and if you'd given them to me for no reason at all, then that would be wonderful. But a part of this ridiculous peace offering, Chris, they mean nothing at all.
Seth, let's be clear about this. You say your credit card is being used by somebody else, but you haven't reported it to the credit card company.
I've not told nobody.
It's the first thing you should do, man.
I just want to sober so I can pay it off. Can't you understand that?
I suppose you haven't got it insured against fraudulent... No, you wouldn't have, would you?
What's the bill, Seth? Much is it?
Enough.
Been using the card a lot, have they?
Too much for my liking.
Now, Seth, I don't want you to worry about this. We're going to sort this out.
Good. I was thinking, Mr. Turner, you couldn't let me have 2 lots of wages, could you?
No, Seth, that's not the answer.
It's good enough for me.
No, with a bit of luck, some bright shop girl will spot the difference between the 2 signatures.
What 2 signatures?
Well, the one on your card and the one this conman's been using.
I didn't have one on my card.
You've lost an unsigned credit card. Seth, that is tantamount to giving the thief cash in hand.
That'll do nicely, Mr. Turner. Cash in hand.
You idiot.
Mr. Turner's right, Seth. You've got to call the police.
It's not to do with police.
On the contrary, it is everything to do with the police. What happened to you was a criminal offence. The culprit must be caught.
I just want to pay it off. It'll not happen again.
You can't be sure of that, Seth.
Oh, yes, I can. I've got my card back. And this time it's going straight up back at fire.
You know, I've never really got to know you in all the time I've been here.
Oh, I think we understand each other pretty well.
I mean, when I first saw you at Kath and Chris's wedding, I tried to introduce myself to you then, if you remember.
I remember. And I pretended I was with Michael.
Was I so objectionable?
Not so you'd notice.
So there's still hope then?
No chance.
If you've got the card back, you must know who the culprit is.
Call the police, Mr. Turner.
I don't want police. How many more times do I have to tell you I just want to sober?
Yeah, hang on, Seth. You know who it is, don't you?
That's none of nobody's business.
Well, you can't protect a criminal.
She's not a criminal.
She?
I'm making a criminal. Meg! I took my card at Wastebin and she's been using it over the phone. But I blame you for this, Mr. Turner, not her. Neither of us had this bother when I was getting paid in real brass.
Weekdays here, we are showing classic episodes from 2 of our finest soap operas. Emmerdale, a double at 1:45, and then at 2:50 we show a double bill again of Coronation Street. More classic episodes here on ITV3.